Osiris.
Welcome to Flock Talk, the ultimate jam band community podcast where the grooves are endless and the vibes are infectious. Join the Femme flock as we dive deep into the lifestyle, culture, and community of the colorful world of jam bands, everything that make this genre truly unique. Today, we're hanging with one of the most creative, fearless, and multifaceted women in the jam scene, Sarah Elaz. Sarah's a badass bassist, dancer, creator, and all-around performer who's been lighting up stages from Bushwick to Toronto. You might know her from Boojum, Bushwick's Dead, or her viral TikToks. But today we're going deeper, talking about her journey from professional dance to jam music, Boojum's immersive show Electric Wonderland, and what it really means to embrace being cringe in a world that loves to judge. So grab your glitter, bubble guns, and best show fit and join us on Flock Talk, where the people make the scenes sparkle. Hi everyone, I'm Nikki, and today we are here with Jess and Layton. And before we get started, we got a little bit of housekeeping to do. We're so excited we have two new faces joining us today. We have our newest Femme Flock full-timers, Carly and Andy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Flock.
We're so excited to add them to the team. Carly is helping out with our social media. Definitely go check out our TikTok if you haven't done so already. And Andy is here to help run our new street team. If you're interested in having an active role in the Femme Flock, we would be so excited to have you on our new street team. So let's get started. Today we have another fantastic episode for you. We would love to welcome badass bassist extraordinaire, Sarah Elaz. Sarah, welcome to the Femme Flock.
Thank you. I am so happy to finally be here. Look at all these awesome women.
We are so happy to have you. Where are you recording from today?
I am recording all the way from Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Woohoo! Brooklyn love.
Woohoo! Brooklyn love. I know. We get a lot of good shows over here. I feel very lucky to be at the center of it all.
Absolutely agree. I don't get anything like that, and often am jealous of you guys. So let's jump right in. So let's start from the beginning. When did you first pick up a bass? What drew you to that instrument particularly?
Yeah, totally. So it's really funny. Bass feels like the middle of the story, which is awesome. I picked up bass during the pandemic. And because I was looking for an outlet. I used to be a professional dancer, and I was living in New York City, dancing professionally, doing odds and end jobs, backup dancing, music videos, off Broadway, whatever. COVID hit. And I needed a way to express myself. And throughout this time, I had been seeing jam bands. I saw my first Phish show in 2010. I was already going to the Brooklyn Bowl, things like that. And what drew me in was, it was always the bass. I always found myself looking at the bass player on stage, just kind of understanding it. I think in my mind, I always tell the story that I saw it and it looked easy, which definitely minimizes the whole experience. I think what happens is I was in the audience day in and day out, like in that it girl on the scene, that it girl on the rail. But I would always be looking at the bass, and I think my brain understood it in a way that I had never understood any other instrument, or maybe even dancing nowadays. And so I picked up the bass during COVID. I had a ton of free time, and it kind of spiraled out of control there. That's when the story gets a little fuzzy, and all of a sudden I wake up and I'm on stage in front of, hundreds of people.
That's fair, though. I mean, COVID was fuzzy for a lot of people. Did you take lessons? Did you have a friend who taught you? How did you start playing? Like, did you just go, I'm going to play this thing and I'm going to learn how to do it?
Yeah, kind of. My boyfriend at the time and I had a joke that all he did was teach me how to turn on the amp, and I taught myself everything else. And so I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I would learn basically Grateful Dead songs. I would find a YouTube video or a chart about a Grateful Dead song, spend a whole day learning it, and move from there. And of course, along the way, I've had some amazing bass mentors. Dan Kelly of Neighbor is an excellent bass player and an amazing friend who I would call up in the middle of the day and say, hey, dude, how do I record a bass? Because I was just putting my phone up to an amp, and he taught me what an interface was. He taught me, he taught me all those little things along the way, and I found I've kind of gathered all these bass mentors that I can now call and give me great advice, and the world is almost my teacher, which I think is really special and really cool, especially about this scene is that people are willing to help out and lend a hand and teach something.
Was it always jam music? Like, you said you started with Grateful Dead, like, how did you get into the Dead and the jam scene?
Yeah, my sister took me to my first Phish show when I was 18. She had followed them around in her college years. She's a bit older than me, and yeah, I fell in love with the idea of improvisation and the freedom and the danciness. And so, my first love has always been jam music. That's where I live. That's where I eat. That's where everything is. But along the way, as with bass, I actually did so much more than that. The first band I was in, I think, was like a pop punk band, I guess you wanna call it. I was in an emo band for a while. I was doing a lot of, bar gig covers where we'd play top 40. And so it was really fun. It was really important for me to learn those things, right? You learn different genres, you meet different people, you develop those skills. But it was really kind of this breath of fresh air when I could finally break back into the jam scene as a player. And that was after maybe 2 years or so of playing out.
So you're involved with quite a few music projects. Speaking of all the bands that you just went through. So you've got dancing, you've got rock operas, I guess. You've got your all these bands. Like, tell us
Totally.
what they are and like how they're different, what you're doing with each of them, how you got to them. Can you give us a rundown of where you're at with these projects? There's a lot, I know, so we're prepared.
Absolutely. Oh, it's very confusing. I know. All right, so we'll get the spreadsheet out. Here's the pie chart. No, so it really all started from SEAP, which is a joke, but it was my way into the jam scene, which was my Phish cover band called Sarah Elaz's Almost Phish, which I definitely at the time did not deserve to have a band named after me, but here we are. And so that was the first band I started, and we played shows for about a year. And while I was in SEAP, I got a call from this guy named Chris Mackin, who you guys will all know is now my bandmate and my collaborative partner. And he was putting together a collective called Bushwick's Dead. And at the same time, at that time, he had a Walrus. He had Walrus, which is a Beatles jam band. And he was starting this collective where he was featuring different jam bands in the scene, and it was at Brooklyn Made. And so he wanted SEAP to play. And kind of throughout our time hanging out, all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, I work in theater. Oh, and me and my friends do these immersive jam shows that combine theatrical elements, dance, and groovy music." And I was like, "Whoa, that's kind of crazy. I used to be a dancer. I love theatrical stuff. I love groovy music. Let's link forces." And so Bushwick's Dead, which is one of my bands, was then forming from like a residency into more of a collective. And we had just secured a residency at Brooklyn Bowl. And so Bushwick's Dead was founded. We do cover shows around the world. Simultaneously, we were starting Boojum, which is my original band. And so our first show was, 2 years ago yesterday. I forgot to make a post about it. At Brooklyn Bowl. I know, it's so cool. And we did our first Electric Wonderland at Brooklyn Bowl, which is one of our immersive shows that's based in Alice in Wonderland. And 2 years later, then we started a band, and now we have Boojum, which is now we're working on raising money for a full-length rock opera called Prince of the Eclipse. I guess I should also mention, which is super cool throughout all this, I'm in a touring Grateful Dead tribute band called Barely Dead. I started with them a year ago. They've been a band for 10 years, huge players in the Boston jam scene. They had a residency at Thunder Road. And now we do about 100 to 150 shows a year, touring all across the country. We're about to go down all the way to Key West next month. And that has been just super fun. Those guys are monster players. We're playing Grateful Dead at like 10 times the speed. We're jumping around on stage, and that's been truly transformative for my playing, just being on the road meeting people and just playing and playing and playing and performing and performing and performing. So all that being said, I have these amazing projects. Barely Dead is huge. It's touring. Bushwick's Dead and Boojum are this weird two sides of the same coin where we play covers and we also create really beautiful, immersive, theatrical jam spectacles.
Okay, now I get it.
You got it? You're getting
I think
tested.
I got it. Now I think I got it. So which one of this beautiful world you have, which of the projects really is like your favorite one to perform with? Or are they like all hitting a little spot that make you happy? Which do you look at more fondly?
Yeah. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm about to get fired if I answer that. No. They all are such beautiful pieces to the same puzzle. I always make the joke that I'm not musically monogamous. I think there is something I have learned that the way I learned was by playing out with people and putting myself out there and hearing new things and trying new things. And so I will always choose to play with new people. I will always choose to do that sit in, to try a different band, to try a different style. And it's part of my main philosophy, and it is something I completely live by and base my career around. That being said, there is something so magical right now about getting to create original music in a world where I feel like it's getting harder and harder to get people out to original music shows, to get the funding, to record albums, to find time for the creativity. And so I feel so lucky that I found this group of people that were already doing what I was dreaming of as a girl. Like even before I played bass, I was a dancer and I was doing it professionally. And the whole goal was that like, how could I combine dance and this jam thing? How do I make the first ever Broadway show where we're improvising on stage and the dancers are improvising with them? And I was already dreaming it. And then I got to meet people that were doing it. Like they were doing it before me. And then I got to come in and bring my own flavor to it. And now we just played our biggest headlining show at Brooklyn Bowl last week. We have more on the way. We're booking tours. Like I said, we're raising money for this massive rock opera. And so that is just kind of I still have that imposter syndrome because I don't even know how I got, again, right? I was in COVID, I blinked my eyes and all of a sudden I'm on stage. All of a sudden I blinked my eyes and we're creating a brand new genre, a whole new style of live music consumption. So
I
that's
love
crazy.
that though. I absolutely love it. It's wonderful. And that's what I want. We kind of want to know more about that part of it, that experimental part of it. How is that different from a normal Boojum show? Or I don't know if that is a normal Boojum show. I haven't seen Boojum yet. I really do want to.
Yeah, no, it's definitely we go back and forth. Again, it's confusing. There's so many names and so different. It's it's a joke we always make about how we maybe like have too many little pieces of the pie in different places. But yeah, Boojum itself, we are a jam band, right? So we play a ton of shows. We play at the Cobra Club all the time, which is this really small dive bar in Bushwick. And it's just a band, right? It's just, you see us, we're wearing our normal clothes, we're jamming. But really, we're super interested in combining mediums. So for our most recent show at Brooklyn Bowl, Electric Wonderland, our first, I think, Jess, you were there. Mike
I was there. I've also seen you at Cobra Club. I'm
And
lucky.
so you've
I've seen
seen
Boojum a
both.
couple of times. Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. You live down the street from me, so it's easy to catch a local show. But yeah, I was
Totally.
at Electric Wonderland this week, and it was very different than the other shows I've seen of yours. But it sounds like it wasn't the first time you've done this. Like,
Right. It's not the first time. It was actually probably the fourth or fifth. No, sixth, seventh. Oh my goodness. So we this show specifically, so the whole goal is to create thematic work, and that's what we're super passionate about. Our lyricist Thomas Mackin, who is Chris Mackin's brother, lives in Europe, speaks 6 languages, is absolutely brilliant, and is truly a genius and loves adapting texts. So we took Alice in Wonderland and even before I was in the band, they had written already like 30 songs loosely based in Alice in Wonderland. Some are a little bit more obvious, right? We have a song called Cheshire Cat, which is about the Cheshire Cat. Ranging from that to a song called Sundial, which is really just some of the text reformatted into this beautiful love song about the passing of time. And so step one is we take a thematic work. we adapt it. That's kind of what Prince of the Eclipse is doing. They have a whole other thing, Walt Whitman. But back to Electric Wonderland, and then we combined artistic elements. So we have this beautiful prop maker named Megan Rowe, who makes huge, humongous oyster heads, or makes big monster costumes, or had the idea for the caterpillar, which had a guy singing and 4 dancers behind them in matching gloves. They were doing kind of this cool dance to make him look
It
like he
was
was walking.
so cool. That moment was so
Yeah,
cool. And then the
sick.
dancers too that came on with the mushroom hats actually inspired my Halloween
Yeah.
costume. Won't spoil it, but did. I was like, "That's sick. I'm gonna make something like that."
Totally. So yeah, so we have a costume maker. Megan Rowe is also a choreographer. We have this another woman named Cameron Kay, who is a dancer who hired 4 dancers to do movement. So you're already kind of seeing that we're doing all these different elements. Yes.
Black girl Cameron, insane.
Oh, it was
Like,
amazing.
amazing
Amazing.
dancer. Could not take my eyes off of her all night. Like,
Yeah, I found her
really,
online. I find like all my best friends on Craigslist.
it's fine. We found all our best friends on Twitter.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Oh yeah,
true.
Craigslist and TikTok. So we also had projections. Casey McCartney did projections. So very multimedia. I will say my favorite part of the show was the second set though. It was a surprise set. So in addition to writing Alice in Wonderland, the same author wrote a story called The Hunting of the Snark, which is about a bunch of pirates on a trip looking for a mythical being. Hold on, you're about to get a full circle moment. You're about to all go, ah! So you find this mythical being called a snark, and whatever, it's good for XYZ. However, if your snark is a different kind of snark that is called a boojum, and you find the boojum, it actually kills you and you vanish away. So this whole story is this whole motley crew on searching for this snark. And of course, they find a snark in the end. Your snark is a boojum. You vanish away. And so our second set, we kind of surprised everyone. We just all came out in costumes and told this story of the hunting of the snark all on stage.
To say this is so Phish coded. Like,
I
I can
know.
tell you're a Phish fan just based on the fact that it's like this whole mythical land and a storytelling aspect. I'm like, this is so Phish. This is so Phish.
Yeah, I know. I will say, so we had that show. We were talking to a lot of people after, and I will quote, you can quote this about the show. It was like Gamehenge, but better. So just putting it out there. Someone said it. Someone important said it.
Someone needs to inform Trey that Gamehenge is officially second to Boojum.
I mean, I think Trey would love it too. I really wish I had his phone number or something. I think it is super Phish coded, right? Think about every Phish New Year's. Like, we're already primed for it as jam band fans. We already love the unexpected. We're all quirky. We're all interesting. I mean, think about psychedelic mushrooms are part of the culture. And so us at Boojum really believe that there is this gap and there is this space for us to come in and start creating works using Broadway tools and Broadway funding and just Broadway infrastructure, but create shows in rock venues for rock concert goers. And that's kind of where we're trying to focus our energy, because I think it's something that is new and exciting. And that's what the scene needs, right? Is like, that's why Goose is so awesome, is they're creating something and they're creating this bubbles and this community. And I think this is the way that we want to do it, is through musical theater and theatrical works and the unknown and the absurd and the performance of it.
So, and I love that because it's a mind and compass. It's not just your music and dancing. You're actually having to like listen to the story and figure out what's happening and think, oh, maybe that's the person, or this is what's going to happen. And I think that is what keeps things interesting in the jam scene, because you're thinking that about the music. So if you're adding a theatrical component to it, on top of that, it is going to be mind blown. Mind blown. Do you have any inspiration for this? Like, is there something that you're like, well, we want it to be kind of like this. This is kind of what we saw. We want to take this and take it another step. Is there something in that sparked that?
I don't I don't think this has been done before ever. Well, no, I mean, I think for me, Gamehenge, obviously, like as a Phish fan, I was there, whatever, 2 years ago. That is kind of the blueprint, of course. But the way that we're doing it has not been done before. I have not seen costumes like this at Brooklyn Bowl. I have not seen those dancers. I have not seen a whole band come out as a surprise boat captainship and everyone's on stage almost like a Steely Dan setup, and all of a sudden there's a guy playing bongos, and all of a sudden there's a big Bandersnatch monster. I really don't know if it's ever been done before, and I might be wrong, and I would like to be proven wrong because I think we'd like to find our cohorts and our people. But really, we just have this team of extremely creative people that every day I wake up and I get a new text about an idea. And every day we wake up and we're inventing and we're trying something new, and we have a new song idea, a new show idea. Like I'm just surrounded by true creative geniuses. And so who knows what it can turn into and what it can be, especially with the new rock opera concept, which I think would even take it more into the narrative, more into having actors, more having a story that you can and will follow, dialogue and things like that. Like maybe you can compare it to a Jesus Christ Superstar, which I love that musical. It's so rockin', right? It's so funky, and it's not even a pastiche funky. It defined 70s rock and made it into a rock opera. So things like that we really look up to. But then again, they weren't jamming, right? We're also getting in the psychedelic. We're also trying to improvise and expand the minds and bring in the trippiness and bring in the jam band fans. And we that's kind of the thing that I always like to strive for is how do we keep it core to the essence of the jam band scene? Like for our residency, we did no repeats, right? In every show, even if we did Electric Wonderland again, which we totally will, I don't think there'll be any repeats from the last show. So that's kind of the fun part, is bringing back in the jam scene when rock operas have been done before.
So what's coming up next for Boojum? Was the name of the Eclipse?
Yeah, Prince of the Eclipse. Yeah.
Prince of the Eclipse. Thank you. Prince of the Eclipse. When is that coming out? When can we look for that?
Yeah, so that is it's all the music's there, the idea's there. Right now we're really just we recorded a bunch of demos. We're putting together a deck. We're really just kind of raising money for a big developmental play, which would then lead into a full-scale Broadway or off-Broadway production. Let's give it a year, but who knows with things like that. I think in the meantime, it's super exciting. Boojum will be opening for Barely Dead, my Dead cover band, on Halloween at the Stone Church in Brattleboro. Boojum, we're also touring. We have some touring plans coming up. We're definitely working on another Brooklyn Bowl, Electric Wonderland. We have another show that I won't actually say more about, but it's more of an electronic dancey show that we're writing, that we're going to be producing. So there's always like many plates on the stove, if you want to call it. But most soon would be Halloween in a couple days at the Stone Church, which I'm super excited to be doing double duty for.
Let's talk about what it's like being a woman on stage in the jam scene. We know that's quite rare. Often the only woman in your band. So give us a little insight on that.
Oh man, ladies. Oh, ladies. I'm sure you all know this, how being a woman is truly a blessing and a curse at the same time, at all times. Like the same things that I am celebrated for are the things that are detrimental to me. In the same breath, I can be this like magnetic, inspiring being. And again, in the same breath, I can be triggering and a punching bag for and just the perfect thing to be projected on. And so it's actually tougher than I expected it would be, especially the bigger I get. I mean, I am so lucky to be so loved and supported by all the men in my band. But there's you just never know when that your good energy, your feminine energy will not be respected or appreciated. And so it's such an interesting, beautiful journey. And I will say that overall, I am so proud to be a woman, and I think it has helped my career because I mean, no one else is doing their fit checks and performing like I am. No one else is doing what I'm doing. All these guys are just
with fit checks. Like, I think that's how we became friends.
Me too.
It was like, give me those outfits now.
Totally. Like no one else is doing that.
I can imagine how though, like, that opens you up to scrutiny and comments and like, I don't even know, like, you have a major social media presence and, that's always like an invitation for others to comment on things that, like, are not their business.
Which is so funny. Oh my god, I just had such a hilarious comment on a TikTok recently that I was like, "Oh, maybe she'd be good if she focused more on the bass." And in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, actually, you're totally right. I would be better at bass if I focused more on my bass." But honestly, I'm my whole brand encompasses fashion and just being silly and all the things we just talked about. That like, who cares if I'm not the most technical bass player? I'm doing like 10 million things more than that, and that is way more fun and exciting. And yeah, there's always those comments of like I post like bass covers, and if I always try to decide like, oh, should I go sexy or not? And every time I wear a sexy shirt, I'll get more comments. But then some of the comments will be like, you didn't have to wear that shirt. And I'm like, okay, I didn't have to wear the shirt, but like I did. And if you looked at the video right before this, I was wearing a sweatshirt. And so whatever. I have learned to let that go. And I wanna believe that my brand and what I'm doing at the fit checks and just being on stage is inspiring. That's my goal for women is I hope that this isn't I hope women don't look at me and think like, oh, whatever. I hope the patriarchy hasn't pitted all of us against each other too much for women to be able to support another woman, and it hasn't at all. But that's kind of always in the back of my mind is how can I use my platform and still, promote myself and be sexy and be flirty, but also make sure it's inspiring. Like I love when people do fit checks and all my friends like tag me in fit checks. And I'm like, yeah, keep going. Like I want this because it's such a fine line. It's such a fine line between being celebrated and being torn down. And
It's not fair.
I walk it every day and oh, it is the worst.
It's not
It
fair.
is so unfair.
It shouldn't have to be either or worrying about that part of it. You should just be able to do what you feel at that point in that outfit and feel your whole self and not worry about,
Yeah,
is somebody going to make a snarky comment or is somebody going to point out something because I'm a woman?
totally.
But I think you're handling it probably better than most people. I don't think that should be even something that somebody should think about, but you can't help it if you've got people in your face and it's going to be something
Yeah.
that's going to happen. And if you handle it with grace, keep going. That's all I say.
Yeah, and it's hard to admit when you're wrong. It's hard for me to learn how to deal with situations, and I'm still working on that, like how to approach any tension or anything like that. I think at first I approached it with kind of an air of, oh, I don't care, I'm doing me, rather than like an empathy and an understanding. Even though empathy and understanding is also exhausting, and maybe I don't need to do it. So yeah, my question is always like, how do I approach this situation? How do I approach this room of new people who maybe some of them are not supportive, or how do I like I am on tour with a bunch of men. How do I maintain friendships with the wives and girlfriends? Like, there's so like, and then how do I deal with online bullies? How do I deal with my own personal voice inside of my head that I wake up every day and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this. Oh, I wake up and all of a sudden I have this huge ego and I'm on top of the world, right? There's like so many aspects of it interpersonally, online, inside, that you have to kind of try to decide how you want to go about it. And then for me, ultimately, I always have to come down, like approach it with kindness and understanding and just empathy,
Well, I think most
which is
people,
such a woman thing to say.
but as we're raised as a human, as I was raised, I guess I should say, is to kill them with kindness. Like if you are as nice as you can be because you are nice, it comes through. And unfortunately, fortunately, I guess, the person that's coming at you or trying to give you a hard time is not going to have a leg to stand on when you are just being your authentic
Yeah.
self and being nice about it. So I think that's beautiful place to be. There's nothing you've got you've got it pigeonholed very well, so I wouldn't change anything right now. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And it's so funny having this conversation, which I feel like is such a good conversation for us. But I wonder if any male musician has had the same conversation, like with the bros, like, hey,
And
like, how
that's
do
why
I approach, just like being
it's sad we
crazy?
have to have this conversation, but that's why we're here, is the fact that there is so many bros broing and less women actually speaking up about their experience with this. It's not something that they really have to deal with. They don't have to worry about the outfit that they're wearing. They can wear an open shirt and it's not going to come up problem. They can wear leather pants. They can wear friggin'
Don't get me
sunglasses the
started
whole
on
time.
some of the shit these men wear on stage because it doesn't matter. You can show up in your pajamas and your slides, and I see Wook foot on stage. I don't want to see your toes. It's happened to me over the summer. It makes me mad because, like, when I go to a show, I care about what I'm wearing and, like, how I'm perceived by the crowd. And, we're doing, like, our Femme flock stuff. And then my friends, all the guys show up in their, like, fucking cargos and jam shirts. And it's just, like, I'm just here. I'm like, you're so lucky. Like, no matter what, I'm going to have a comment if I dress or if I don't dress. So I might as well look cute.
Oh, every time. But that's why you have to own it. Like, I think that's been my ticket too, is anything that has been girly or out of the norm, like I've leaned into it. Like I developed fit checks on the road with Barely Dead just because I was wearing a different outfit, just because we were on tour, there's nothing else to do. And I leaned into it and people liked it. So now I feel like I'm never going to repeat an outfit again. I got a purple sparkly base. I like leaned into the feminine of it. And I think that's the scary part, and that's what I love about Blue to Tiger is like she's out there with her backless shirt, stunning hottie, and then is just ripping the bass. And if we lean into that femininity when we have the support of other women, that's when it's powerful. And like, look at this amazing group of women. I mean, I've been in the jam band scene for 15 years, something crazy like that, and I've seen and met more and more women. Like there was a time where my crew was mainly men, and all of a sudden now my crew's all the really cool chicks. And so there is kind of this energy moving forward, and how do we lean into it? And how do we girlify the scene? How do we use our sparkly bases and make fashion a part of it? I mean, you're all already doing it, right? Like we go to shows and we dress up, and glitter is such a thing. Clothing brands are making women specific clothes. So if we just keep leaning into it, it's gonna catch on, and it is catching on. You see there are so many now female jam influencers that are doing their thing and having a platform and growing the scene. And you can't hate someone for being their authentic self. Like let them run, and it only helps. It only helps the crew.
Exactly.
Talk to us about your fashion on stage because, as I said, that's how, like, you and I first connected. It's something I'm watching your fit checks, paying attention. Like, you have a very distinct style. How do you decide what you're wearing on stage? Where do you get your stuff? Do you have favorite brands or vendors or Etsy shops that you're looking to?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love fashion. It's super fun. So it probably started. My mom actually was a costume designer. And so I grew up and she would make my dance costumes and things like that. And so I've always kind of had that eye for fashion, and I've always kept everything. so so step one of my fashion is that I have been hoarding clothes since high school. And it's insane that I still fit into some. And so you probably can see, but I have a walk-in closet over there with boxes and boxes piled high of clothes that I've had since high school. Step one.
You're in trouble now. Jess is gonna be
I'm
knocking at your door any minute. Look
I
out.
don't even have a closet in Brooklyn, so I am upset.
Yeah, I have a walk-in. Yeah, it's
Jealous.
amazing.
Yeah.
So because okay, again, going back to like what I'm afraid of is looking wasteful, because I really am trying never to repeat an outfit. But that is fast fashion is a disaster. That's just unsustainable. And so yeah, step one, I hoarded all my clothes from a young age. Step two is I live in Bushwick, which is, I feel, one of the best places to thrift. L Train Vintage, which there's a bunch of locations, is down the street. I can get a dress with all sparkles and stuff like that for $5. I can get shirts for $3. I love thrifting and you can sell it back. And so I do a ton of thrifting and I find the coolest stuff. And if I'm on a lunch break, I go for a walk and I find cool stores. I will take everyone there whenever you come to Bushwick. Step 3 is I rent clothes. I'm a huge fan of the clothing company Newly. My friend Elena put me onto it and I rent, I think it's like 5 items a month for $100 of extremely expensive, beautiful clothing. And so if I have like a specific show, like we were doing pirate themes, I can rent something like that. I'm wearing this really cool jacket right now that I could never afford, but it has like horses on it. And so I rent a ton of clothes. And so as you can tell, a lot of thought goes into this. So, if you ever have a conversation with me and ask me if I've seen a movie, the answer is going to be no, because I spend all my time on Pinterest and TikTok looking at fashion trends and makeup
How
trends and influencers.
I am pretty sure I saw you pulled out like an old dance costume that you were wearing at a show recently. It was like my mom has all my old dance costumes also exist in my attic. I'm like, I should find those. It's a great idea.
hmm So yeah, I wear old dance costumes. I wear stuff from high school. I rent and I thrift, which has been super, super fun. And I think about it so often and I love it. I think it is so, so fun to have grown up and be my own life-size Barbie doll. It is the coolest thing. Like I remember being a kid and wanting to grow up and have, boobies and wanting to do this. And so why not dress up? Why not take the chance? I mean, meanwhile, I could be way crazier. Like I don't know if anyone here is a Sierra Farrell fan, but she is my idol. She is my mother. I don't know what to say. I am obsessed with her music and also her commitment to fashion and her commitment to stagecraft and that kind of thing. So it's everywhere. Like the inspiration is everywhere. And so as long as you're looking for it and excited about it and find it fun, which I do, like I pick out my outfits because it's so fun. Like if you're just having fun with it, I don't know. That's my process. That's my fashion process.
That is actually very good advice, especially since we have so many people that are going to the upcoming shows for Goosemas. The outfits for that are usually my favorite of the year. That's the most fun. I start thinking about that now. I'm like, what am I going to be wearing in 3 months when I'm going to a show, or gosh, even farther in advance? I'm thinking about like next year. So
I've started
any
planning
advice you can give?
my Cabo outfits for Gonzo in May already. Been thinking
Wait,
about
I
it.
better
Don't
be
tell
at all
me.
these things. I'm planning on being at all these places. I can't wait.
Great. Join us.
Well, as a fellow TikToker and social media gal, I'm definitely interested in hearing about, your presence on TikTok, what that impact has looked like. How did you start creating there? What's your approach been to it? Do you enjoy it? Just everything TikTok.
Oh, that's such a good question. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I like to claim it that I was the first person posting Phish content on TikTok. It was during the pandemic and TikTok had just started and I was hanging out. It was actually, I was talking to the choreographer, John Rua, who choreographed like Phish clones. He choreographed couple other things for them. And he's like, oh, you should make a Phish talk of you doing dances to Phish songs. I'm like, oh, that's random. I'll try it. And I just started posting random Phish videos on TikTok. And I think just because I was the first person doing it and I was super low pressure and low stakes, it got me a lot of followers. There was a while that I had more followers on TikTok than Instagram, which I don't think is the case anymore. Um, but yeah, it actually just started off being super fun and there weren't many of us doing it. And then of course there was this massive explosion and I see you on there all the time, right? Mr. Cam blew up. I think a lot of people caught on, um, which is really cool. And, I'm actually at a weird place with TikTok right now. I don't know what I want to do with it. I I'm on TikTok all day, every day for leisure. But now I'm really kind of searching for that next type of content that does keep me relevant. Because I'm always surprised about what videos blow up on TikTok. I mean, social media itself is a game, right? It's super interesting, and the app kind of tells you what you should and shouldn't be posting. It favors some sorts of content, and it's really like the really real raw personal stuff that goes well on TikTok. Oh, so I guess I totally skipped over. We need to back up actually, because I used to have my ex-boyfriend film me dancing at Phish concerts, and those videos also blew up on TikTok, but I guess I kind of stopped doing that. And my bass videos don't do as well anymore. And so what does well is like me just like singing along to songs sometimes. Really random stuff blows up. And so I kind of I'm super pensive right now about what to do on TikTok and how to use it as a brand, because I feel like Instagram, I feel like I'm super locked in. People love Basecamp, people love FitCheck, collab posts on everything, kind of just like copy paste. Not that interesting. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I figured out the formula. And TikTok, I feel like I had this massive blow up, and now it's kind of stopped because I didn't start making kind of that like short form joke content that Can does, or other people that are doing really well on it. And so I'm in a thinking phase. I would like to do more funny videos though. I think humor crushes. Especially like the guys I make all my music with are so funny. They used to have like a sketch comedy like troupe. That's what Loop Troop started.
I don't think that you need the boys to start doing funny videos. I think you can definitely do it all on your own.
I know. But the time, I'm so tired. I even like right before this, I recorded one of those like bass covers. Making content is really, I mean, making content is a full-time job. I met, who is the bass player? Freak Bass. He came to one of our Baylor Dead shows. He like full-time is on TikTok going live, playing like live bass loops and like talking to people, and like makes his living that way. And it was just, I think like Jimmy Fallon just dressed up as him. And so there is a world where content creation makes a living. I wish I need my next thing. I need it to be like time efficient and cool and unique. Like I need to do what I've done with fit checks on live stage, but do it online. But it just feels like so much harder because there's so many people, and there's so many people making this content now.
I think with
But I think
TikTok, a lot of it is throwing paint at a wall. So, like, try all of your ideas for content. Like, just try it, see what happens, see what sticks, and then just keep doing it, which is probably how, like, your online presence grew in the first place, is you probably had one type of video that was doing really well and you kept doing it.
yeah. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah. That's
When
good
you
advice.
first were posting videos, like, were you seeing, like, an impact, like, outside of TikTok, like, at your live shows? Like, were you having people come up to you at shows, be like, "I came because I found you on TikTok," sorta thing?
You know, for a while, a lot of people were coming up to me at shows saying that they knew me from TikTok. There was like a good year or so that everyone recognized me from TikTok. But I will say live shows, no, which is super interesting. Also as a promoter, right? So I book shows, and we get offers we put in offers all the time for TikTok, comedians or things like that. And it actually doesn't always equate to ticket sales. Which is super interesting to study, right? Because there is this whole new wave of the influencer and the influencer artist, and we are booking and promoting our internet famous friends, and we've all said that we've made best friends on the internet. But the translation from that into hard ticket sales is actually not as cut and dry as we want it to be. Because there was even studies about it. Someone did a study about seeing bands on social media, how likely they were to be converted to listening on Spotify. And it was only like, even if you follow a band, it's only like a 20% chance that you listen to them on Spotify. Which feels
That's
low.
super surprising. Yeah, that's super surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels like it should be higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. But then again, I say that, but obviously my social media presence has had a massive effect on my career. Like, even if it's not ticket sales, like what I find the uses for TikTok and social media are more, yeah, just awareness. Like, so many people come up to me, they're like, "Oh, you're all over my feed. It's amazing," which is cool. It helps the brand. It helps the feeling of importance, even if it doesn't directly get me Spotify streams or ticket sales yet. I want to hope that it's all going to converge to one thing. Um, but then again, you're just so many. Like, even today, I woke up. I had a friend. Like, the first thing my friend said to me today was like, "Are you posting your things on YouTube? Like, are you doing YouTube Shorts?" I'm like, "I don't know, no, but I will."
We have the same daily struggle. Completely.
Yeah, sorry, I'll do more.
There's only so much one person can do.
I know, I
So
need a
You would think,
manager.
you would think that it would translate eventually if somebody sees you enough on there. If you're coming up in their feed and it's music and it's singing and it's dancing and it's different stuff
Totally.
all the time. Eventually, somebody's gonna be like, you know what? I better check her out. So eventually, you think it would convert just by
Yeah.
repetition,
I think it does. Yeah, it does. I guess actually the question even before that though is how to get on people's feeds. Because on TikTok, my views have gone down dramatically in the past year. And I mean I'm posting, I mean, I'm not dancing as Phish shows that much, but I still think I'm posting good content. And sometimes, like, I posted a video today that I thought would do well and flopped. So there's also that whole struggle of how to even get in front of people. And I have friends that show me the behind the scenes metrics and show me that, like, reels or whatever get you in front of way more new eyes than other ones. So you have to be posting them even if you're getting less engagement. Like, there is kind of that whole science behind it because the market is oversaturated, because we're all, we're in like a weird time in the world. Like, we're all trying to get on people's feeds, and you got to play the game somehow, and it's not even cut and dry, and it's a little bit of luck, and it's Carly, kind of exactly what you said. It's also about throwing stuff at the wall and being extremely consistent. Like, I should actually even be posting more, which is crazy because I feel like I'm always on social media.
But even with that, like, I work in media and advertising. Like, the algorithms are changing daily. Like, even the people who are running these platforms don't know what's going on. Like, you could be doing something that's crushing, and the next week they change the algorithm, and it's like, start over. So
Totally.
I think it really is that, like, consistency and figuring out what your fans
And
want.
I've also been on I feel like my word of the year, my feeling of the year has been cringe, because I think we need to invite each other to be cringe. Everyone who was successful before they were successful were cringy. Like, you have to put yourself out there 100%. Like, who cares what people are saying, laughing behind your back? All press is good press. I'm sure people follow me just because they cannot stand me, but I hope that cringe, which of course comes from just excitement and comes from a place of honesty, will eventually translate.
But, like, what is cringe? Like, what is the definition of cringe? What does cringe look like? It's like, it's different for all of us, and, like, everything is kind of cringy in a
I think
way.
it's
Like, the
cringe. Oh,
world is. Like,
totally.
being on stage and dancing can be cringe to someone else. Like, there's no, like, real definition.
Yeah, it's self-shame. I guess it's self-shaming. The cringe is self-scrutiny. And I want to try to get rid of that.
I'd say a big part of what cringe is somebody being their authentic self and it just coming out as that's not what I would do, but somebody else is doing it, so it's cringy. And it's not. I don't
Mm.
think I don't even actually know anything is cringe. What I think of cringe is I think of like creepy or of like ew,
Mm.
that type of thing instead of ooh, that was dorky. And that's just it. It's just
Yeah,
being yourself as part of it, being yourself. If you're going to be yourself, you better be all of it because it's going to come out eventually. So why hide that kind of side of yourself And if somebody thinks it's cringy, then so be it. You just got to get
Right?
over it.
I like what Sarah said about it's like self-shaming. It's cringe to me because like I would never do that, but like you have confidence to
Mhm.
do it, and like so it's not really cringe if like I believe in what I'm doing and I'm confident in posting it, and like it's authentic in a way, and like if someone else finds it cringe, like that's an internal problem for them.
Totally.
I think it's a projection.
Mhm.
That's just somebody
Of
saying,
course.
"Ooh," putting their bad feelings about it onto you when it's just you being you. And that just comes off when somebody says somebody's cringy and they're just being authentic. There's one particular person I'm thinking of that's in a band that plays keyboards, and people will say they're cringy, and it's joy. It's just joy they're emulating, and it makes my heart burst, and I love to see it. But there's people who cannot handle that type of joy because their lives are whatever, or
Totally.
they're the type of person they are. And it's very sad. I really do feel bad when people point that out. It's not cringy. I think it's beautiful. So I say
Yeah,
what
but
you
how do
will.
we how do we uplift people though? Because this also ties back to being a woman in the industry. Like I think it's even easier to project those insecurities onto women. And so
Absolutely.
I don't think we're gonna yeah I don't think and unfortunately if we're talking about this and we do want to uplift people, like you can't like look at someone and say, hey, you're projecting on me, because then you're just like feeding into your own ego. So how do we as women and as public women in kind of the public eye on social media or on stage, like invite people to be themselves so that they're not projecting on their shit onto you? Am I allowed to swear? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. I feel like it's like partially like self-compassion of like, I know who I am. I'm not embarrassed about what I'm doing. But then also like having that compassion for others of like, Sarah knows who she is, and like a tolerance thing in a way of an acceptance of like, I'm I might not do that myself, but I can respect that that is who you are and what you do. And it's like
Yeah.
whole tolerance thing that we're missing in our culture these days. Like, I also don't have all the answers, and I'm also not great at it myself.
It's stuff I think about all the time. Like all like being a woman in music is me thinking about this exact thing all the time.
I
And
mean, I
talking
get
about it
it.
all the time.
That's just being a woman in this world is, like, all of these things we're talking about are, like, things that I think about daily, and I know, like, I talk to these girls about all the time. I'm like, how do we show up as ourselves? How do we protect ourselves? Because that's important in this world. How do we show up for our friends and other people, even if what they're not showing up for themselves or us? And, like, we've tried to create this, like, strong inclusive community, and, like, what is radical inclusivity? And, like, do we include people who don't vibe with us? Like, that's still something that we need to be thinking about, even like, because sometimes those are the people who need it the most. And there's just so like, being a woman is hard. Like,
Dude, you're
that's
speaking true. I'm like going through all my like choices in my life. I'm like, oh God.
but like, no, that's what we're talking about, is like having that self-compassion and like forgiveness and like understanding of we're not perfect, and like, okay, I look back on something and sure, maybe I would have made a different decision now, or like maybe looking back, like, that's really embarrassing and I shouldn't have posted that. But like, it was what I felt in the moment, or if I was back in that same place, I would have made that same decision again. And like, just because I know better now, like I didn't at the time, and that's how we learn and grow. And yeah, it's hard, man.
A lot of little things
Oh
to think about all
man.
the time.
Mm.
At all times. And you had kind of touched on it, like um trying to lift up others and making others more aware, and including yourself in this world that we live in. um Personal advocacy. So we saw that you were, or used to be, involved with domestic and sexual violence advocacy in that. um can you
Oh
tell us more
yeah.
about where that began, or if you're still involved with it?
Oh, I would love to. What a great part of my life. So I used to be a professional dancer, as now you all learned, before I was a bass player. And the longest running show I was in, it was a off Broadway choreo play. So it was a contemporary dance and text, and it was called She, like SHE. And it was a choreo play on sexual violence against women and police brutality. And so we focused on the story of Sandra Bland, who was murdered by the police. And we kind of made parallels between the way that police treat Black women and how that's an abuse of power in the same way of, as sexual violence against women. And so the show started as having, I think, 5 or so women tell their true stories of sexual violence against them, accompanied by a band and accompanied by dancers. And then for the second iteration, they took the survivors out and replaced them with actors. And then kind of by the end, it was really more of a play where it focused on, I think, 4 characters. There was like a grandma, a mom, a daughter, and what was the last one? I can't remember. It's been that long. But telling these stories in really graphic detail and kind of showing them healing through it, of course, through dance, through kind of theatrical work. And then we would do talkbacks. And so I did that show for probably 4 years. We had a couple different runs. We traveled to colleges. I've spoken at a bunch of panels. We had danced in protests. And so I was really, really in that world. And I mean, of course, like I came out of it stronger, and I feel really, really equipped to have difficult conversations. I feel equipped just to stand up for myself and other people. But at that time, I mean, imagine we're going to these shows. Imagine like you go to like on Goose Tour, but every single show you're retelling the same story of rape that you know is real, and you're performing it. And me and these girls, I mean, we of course became so close and had gone through hell and back and had all these realizations. Like there had been times like every single one of us at one time were like, you know, I had been abused. Like that was wrong. And having those live realizations on stage in a talkback in a rehearsal really kind of it changes you and makes you grow. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity. I loved to be in the center of activism, especially this show was running right at the kind of the peak of the Me Too movement. I was like, we performed a show the day after Trump got elected the first time, and that was like one of the hardest shows I'd ever had to perform. And so yeah, being at the height of Me Too movement, being at the intersection between arts and activism, especially as women in an all-woman cast, was truly life-changing and inspiring. And those women are still out there today, still dancing. A lot of them are mothers now, which is super beautiful, and everyone's kind of carving their own path. But it was something that completely shaped me. And actually, the show got canceled for some unfortunate reasons that have to do with men. And it was that weekend that I instead of performing, went to Brooklyn Bowl and saw 3 Nights of Pigeons and met my best friends that then that was my first Phish crew that then introduced me to everyone I know, which made me the person I am today. And so that show really kind of did lead me. Yeah, full circle, was in the show dancer, and all of a sudden I
There's
was
a
like,
reason
got
for everything,
canceled. I had
right?
nothing else to do. Yeah, it was really hard, but it opened actually the door to my music career right after it.
That's amazing.
So so yeah, it was amazing. So there's YouTube videos, and I'm a dancer. Like you see me, I'm not a bass player at all. I'm like my legs like up in the air. I'm doing like split.
I also have a very strong dance background. Like I went to high school for dance, and that was
Epic.
my life for years. Like watching you on stage, you are absolutely a dancer. Like
Oh,
it's
totally. I mean, you
very
see it in my
obvious.
performance. I did a split the other day. You know.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen you like roll around on the ground. Like
yeah.
the
Oh totally.
the
I mean,
movement is healing. Like that's
oh
so much of
totally.
it. And like I can totally see how, I mean, I worked on projects too that like a lot of like these dance performances have stories you write. You know, it's just like music. Like the choreography is a story, and it's telling something, and it's healing, and you use it in different ways, and also like healing for others and healing for yourself to like be moving through things and working through it. And I can't imagine performing that specific show often and
For years.
for years,
For years.
but, like, it's really powerful.
It is, yeah.
Do you still do advocacy in some form?
Not in that same way, of course. I mean, I still stay educated. I'm still, like, always open to have difficult conversations. I'm a huge supporter. I guess you could call me an artist of groove safe. I love what Ashley does. And I believe in the mission. But yeah, I think, call me if we ever need to like get to the streets again, but really what I took out of that is just my want and need to be there for other women in need. And I think again, being a woman in music, I have dealt with men who have abused their power over me. Um like more times than I would like, and I'm sure it's happening right now everywhere around the world. And especially in this male dominated industry, even though I mean, I feel so lucky at the same time because these men are my brothers. But I think this my job now is to really be that strong woman and be a voice and be an ally to anyone in need. And if anyone wants to talk to me, you can totally call me.
We love that.
Because I've lived it, I've talked
We
it,
love
and
that so much.
it
Yeah.
means a lot.
That's a beautiful, beautiful statement to make. And we love to hear that because even though you are a face on stage, a safe face is what you're trying to project on top of that. And that's more important than anything else,
Totally.
if you ask me. So that's beautiful. We thank you for
Totally.
that. So let's wrap up where we are. We have one last question. We at the Femme Flock, we're all about celebrating, inspiring, and influential women. So can you tell us a woman who has done that for you?
Oh, of course. I remember when someone chose me. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Andy Frasco for saying that I am the woman that inspires him on this podcast. Very cool. I actually have to give it up to my girl Olivia Klein. She goes by Honey Marmalade. If you've seen her on Instagram, she is an amazing singer and she is also a marketing specialist at Brooklyn Bowl. So she's another one of these baddies who is in the industry on the ground and also just a fantastic musician. I mean, she just sat in with Neighbor. She had Cotter like play drums with her. She did something at a festival this summer, which was super cool. She was just Alice in Electric Wonderland. We had her guest as Alice. Yeah,
That
you know
girl's
who I'm talking
voice,
about.
her voice
You know my
is
girl.
spectacular. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I was floored.
Olivia. Yeah,
Like, what a presence.
Yeah,
Her voice is,
what a
like, beyond her
presence.
years. Crazy.
I know. She's stunning. So her we got close kind of recently just because I mean, she's worked at Brooklyn Bowl for a long time. We've been on emails together, but had never really hung out. And she did these shows with me. We did like a Led Zeppelin show where she sang Led Zeppelin. And it's so inspiring to me to have another young woman who lives at that intersection of being an artist and also being in the industry of being a suit and being able to connect with her about those struggles. Like we talk about all the time, like, how do we have people take us seriously as a professional and as a performer, drawing that line, being a woman. And it's really fun to do that with her because she is so driven and she's going to go amazing places. Now, yeah. And at the same time, her original music under Honey Marmalade is fantastic. Her voice is out of this world. She makes me a better singer. Like I feel so uncomfortable singing, but I love singing with her and I love being on stage with her. And I feel like every time we're on stage, there's this magnetic thing and all of a sudden our faces are really close and we're like dancing on each other. And none of the boys will do that with me. Like I can't do that to my other bandmates, I can't go like love on shimmy on them and have this like girly moment. So having her in our crew and in our friendship and also on the inside in the industry has been just really special for me. And she is a dear friend and I look up to her so much.
We love that. We're going to have to look into her. Give us her handle again.
Yeah, Honey Marmalade.
Okay. We'll make sure we have her in the notes because who knows, maybe she'll
Yeah,
be on the show. That's how we got you.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Keep an eye. I know, it just keeps going. I love that. Yeah, that was super funny. I love that.
We do too. Thank you, Andy Frasco.
Thank you, Andy Frasco.
I know we asked our last question, but I do have one more. You play bass, you sing, you dance. What are you bad at?
Oh my goodness. You know, what okay. There's a couple things. I'm really bad at like anything sports related, like throwing the ball. Like this summer, like me and the Boojum guys went to the beach all the time. And we had this ball that would like you throw it at the water and it bounces off and you're supposed to catch it. Like stuff like that. No. Nope. Can't do it. I'm done. I'm not going to throw the ball. I'm not good. I have very bad luck when it comes to like gambling. Like I never win a sweepstakes. I never win. It's never my card.
I am fully banned from casinos. Like, I identify.
I am a bad luck charm. If you ever want to win something, do not put my name in. Sometimes I win Phish lottery, but very, very rarely. Like I never win anything. And I will say, like, because of those couple things, like I'm also an extremely sore loser. And so you won't catch me playing many board games. Like if you ask me to play a game, I will likely say no. Because I am a super sore loser.
Like, are you just a really competitive person? And so you're like avoiding?
I think I am. I think, like, I think I need to be good at something to enjoy it. So like, I'm not good at chess. Like I like will never play chess because I'm not good enough at it to be good. Like,
right,
I don't want to throw a ball because I'm telling you, I'm not going to be good at it enough to begin. I'm just going to get mad.
I fully identify with that mindset. So
I can't really play guitar. I don't know if that's a.
Well, you're crushing.
I want to keep listing. I want to keep listing things I'm not good at.
You
I can't guitar. I can't.
We want to end on a high note here. Because remember we introduced you as the badass. So
Hey, you know what? I want to hope that it we're going back to being, like inspiring. Like I hope it's inspiring that people know that I will never win a sweepstakes and that I can't throw a ball. But I can play at Mean Bays.
I totally derailed our like inspirational, powerful girl moment.
We gotta go. Let's bring it back up.
No, you're crushing it, dude.
That's good. It's good. It's a good way to end it.
We are so honored that you came and talked to us today. Like your schedule is fucking bananas because you have all these side projects and main projects and whatever.
And I'm at shows every night. Like it's crazy that I've been at Brooklyn Bowl almost every night. Talking to them, I was like, I'll sleep over there. And just like
we appreciate a minute with us though. We really do. We know that it was not easy to coordinate, but we loved it. It was so great talking to you. I mean, this was beautiful. This was beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
This was super fun. I love this crew. What a
You're
great
welcome
crew.
back anytime. And you should come join us for a Goose Show, Goose Miss, Cabo, anything. Come hang. Come float with the flock.
I think I will be at both. I know I wanted to maybe do like a night -1 party and maybe sit in on a night 0, but it's all TBD.
If you're coming to Goose Miss, the Femme Flock is hosting night 0 for Goose Miss, so please be there. Our friends at Disco are headlining, and then we have some community members opening for them. Mike Morosky, Ryan Storm, John Murphy, Cam Hurd, and Nico Suave, who we've had on the pod, are hosting. So it's going to be a great night. Definitely check it out. Grab a ticket. We sold out last year. We will absolutely be selling out this year. And, maybe Sarah will show up. All right. Well, there you have it, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Come back anytime. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much. This pod is made by women for everyone. We wouldn't be here without you, and we want to hear from you. If you want to get involved with the Femme Flock, fill out our Get Involved form on our website, thefemmeflock.com. That's FEMME. We are currently building a street team of folks across the country of all ages and backgrounds who love spreading the word about inclusivity and fun. Tag us on socials if you're dancing at a show with your crew, showing off your outfit, hosting or attending a community event, or promoting something you think we'd love. If it's for the community, we're here for it and we want to see it. The space is for everyone, and we're so excited you're a part of it. Don't forget to follow along with the Femme Flock on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, or join our Reddit community. Talk to y'all soon, and flock on.
Osiris.